Hi guys, this is my second attempt to do Know Your Self-Worth video. Earlier I did a video with regard to self-worth, respect of the self, love the self, but it didn't upload, even with the recording, but I'm going to try now and see what happens. What is it that can make us feel as if we don't have self-worth? Well, obviously a relationship with someone, a bad relationship, or a connection with a family member, or a friend could claim to be a friend, but then we get to know them and we have situations that are linked to the friend that's linked to us, and then they let us down, but they say horrible things when the split of a best friend with you begins and you never see them again, but their last words are that they've said everything that could possibly hurt you, and you then start to believe that you are worthless because they said that. Now, we've got to stop that from happening. We've got to make sure that people don't make us believe their bullshit, because if you do that and allow them in your head, then you have given them the power. They've got into your head and they're controlling your emotion and they're controlling you. And that, in a sense of, if you're being controlled in an emotional way like that, then you can't move forward. So if you can't move forward, then that's what they want. They've also got control of that. I had an experience yesterday where I had a client on for spiritual counselling, and she talked about her sexual life when she was even younger. But the sexual life wasn't positive, it was negative. It was all forms of nastiness with guys that were treating her badly, hurting her physically, mentally, sexually, in every way. And she played me an audio of her experiences, and it talked about or the sexual thing, or the fact, or whatever pain she went through. And she says, it doesn't matter because no one loves me. And every time she kept saying stuff, she said, it doesn't matter really what happens to me. Nobody loves me. So she wanted to feel appreciated. She wanted to feel loved. She wanted to be respected. She wanted to not be used just for one day. And she never got it. But something within her turned it from being a victim to a survivor. And she suddenly then started to live a life for others and for herself. But then it went a little bit slippery, where she wanted to take her own life just a month ago. She started sessions with me, and I've suddenly just made her feel survivor all the way through this journey. And living life is not just for yourself, but for recognising that other people will hold a pain within them if you decide to leave the earth in such tragic circumstances. And they need you. They need your love and your inspiration, and they want your physical around them, and that is important. So she recognised that. So this video is about that girl who saw me yesterday, all the other circumstances that other people tell me about abortions or miscarriages, but not having the full support, not feeling as if she had any self-worth, or feeling as if someone could love her to support her. And it all stems back to the childhood, and it stems back to how we are treated with our parents, and our parents not acting or doing enough. Or we might not tell one parent because their reaction might be severe, and they will go for the kill because their child was hurt or molested in such a way, or physically or mentally abused repeatedly. And then the mother, the father does all that, but the mother on one side would not act, and she wouldn't care because she's in the same situation with other guys, and she's going through that path, and this girl is following the same path because that's all she knows, and it's not her fault. But you can move out of it. You can change your way of thinking, your pattern, your thought process. Somebody today on the live of this video talked about shadow work. And for me, I made a shadow oil about 3 years ago, and it still sits in a bottle. I've sold it. I keep topping it up, mixing and working the energies. And I use the 3 candles, navy blue for healing. And I would engrave my name and date of birth into those candles, and the word that I want to work on with regard to shadow work. And that word, for example, for me, let's just say it's anger or fear or change or acceptance, any of these words. You write it on the candles, all three. Mind, body, spirit, representing the three candles. I would anoint those three candles with the shadow oil, and then I'd go outside. I'd be writing on one piece of paper the word that I wrote on the candles for mind, body and spirit. And I'd burn that piece of paper in the moonlight of the sun with my intention and my petition and my casting and my needs and wants and intention to the universe, connecting with the law of attraction. And I'd burn the paper and catch the ashes into a bowl, where I'd place the candles and the ashes on a flat piece of paper on a flat surface, and I'd roll those candles that were anointed in the shadow oil onto the ashes. Once that's done, you would then stick them onto a very secure place, or you might have candle holders, and you start to light them with your petition. Now, once that's done, you can keep repeating it with the same word, or you keep repeating it every couple of days until maybe the burn will be for about a day and a half, depending on how long the taper candle is. You might want to do mind, body and spirit for a 7-day glass candle, or 3, and that would be 3 to 5 days burning. But we could go back and burn more on the same word, like for acceptance or fear or change or self-doubt or anxiety or depression. Or if we feel we can move on to another word, then we will. After all of that, we're doing something about it, aren't we? We're not letting ourselves go. We're not giving up. We're not saying to ourselves, forget about it. Let people use me. Let people take control of me. Let people make decisions for me, or tell me I can't make this decision, or tell me I can't feel or hurt or have pain. Let others follow their own path and walk their own path. They cannot walk into our space and tell us how to be. Someone once told me, and it was somebody online who was seeing me do what I do on my other channel. Now it's gone. I got the MDP Mediumship Development Program, but I'm combined with Belinda now, and her legacy and her work is fantastic. And I hope to just add my work too, of whatever the work will be, whatever spirit want me to do. But from time to time, we get people who will tell us, you're finished. I'm going to cast a spell on you and you're finished. You're no more. That can only be if you are weak in your mind, body and spirit, and you allow people to come in and change your thought process by getting into your head, using the power of psychology, fucking with your head. It is important that we don't follow the bullshit, that we have control of our own life. If we are being told that we're finished and we believe it, then it's going to most likely open the doors to things that they want to happen to us. When we can say, no, I have control of my space here, and I love the people around me, and I know what I need, and I know what I want, and I'm not going to have anybody come in and tell me that this is going to be how it is. It's up to you to believe what you want to believe. If you believe that from people who want to attack you, then go ahead. You could, on the other hand, believe everything that a priest says in a church one time, a sermon. Everything on the sermon is exactly what you needed. Perhaps it is from certain people, but we get sucked in so easily to this because we look up to that person who's there, talking, motivational speaking, saying what they want to say. But not everything that they're telling you is for you. You take what you need. You don't take everything that is being said and available to you. Perhaps people are just so clingy and needy they want it all, but sometimes there's things we just don't agree on with people. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes us individuals. And we all have a purpose, and that is to love, it is to guide, it's to heal, but it's to have that special relationship with our inner being, with our inner self. Do we truly know who we are? Do we truly know which path we're leading? Do we truly know how we feel inside about our pain from the past? And have we dealt with it? Are we thinking that we've dealt with it, but are we in denial, thinking, well, I'm coping with it every day? That's different. Coping with it every day doesn't mean we're dealing with it. Dealing with it means speaking about it, openly talking to people about your feelings, so that it's being given to that person to listen and lay some options on the table, which the spiritual counselling offers, that I offer, is about not giving advice, but like a normal counsellor or psychologist, they just put the options on the table and they listen, because you have the answers within you already. You already know what you need to do. You already have it within you. As a spirit in this body, we've had many past lives. We've forgotten what we already know. We just have to have that special relationship within as spirit, as soul, and connect and learn much more about who we truly are. Our true potential needs to come out. It needs to be known. It needs to be shown to shape the world for the better, to help people through their troubles and their difficulties. As a shadow behind me, if it's a sunny day, I'm using that as a beautiful sunny day. We have the light shining down us to have protection, for example. I'm going to use that as an example. But behind us, from the sunlight, is a shadow behind us. We can't run away and expect that shadow to be outchased. We can't. It will always follow us. We can turn around and face it, and deal with it. But we can not look back in the past and relive it. We have to look at it and say, yes, it happened, why this happened. Sometimes we don't have a reason why, but we don't always get the answers to our questions all the time. We get answers to certain questions. We look at why, how, when, who was it that it happened to, like me and you. And sometimes it doesn't always make sense to you. But in time, we've got to trust with the universe that it will bring everything into balance with our thought process. Our mind, body and spirit will be in balance. That yin and yang effect will